very specific type of trinomial. And I'm going to write this trinomial out just with letters. Because, of course, every letter represents any number. Now, you will notice that last example I gave you, instead of using X, I used Q. Did that change the method that we used to do the question? No. Will I ever politely and in good humor accept you saying this? I don't know how to do it when it's a different letter, Mr. Myers. Will I ever accept that? No. Is it a risk you want to take? No. I wouldn't, because it's not true. So, x squared plus bx plus c. Notice there is no leading coefficient. What number is there that we don't write? 1. So this type of factoring only works with this type of trinomial. Everybody cool? Now, you've all already seen how to do 2 or 3 examples of doing this with algebra tiles. But you are aware that that was cumbersome, wasn't it? Right? Now, of course, there is a way to do this in one step using algebra, which is what we're going to do in a moment. But first, we are going to do one last one where we just draw the answer. Now, you've done it 2 or 3 times. Where are the easy ones to work with here? I'm going to highlight 3 things. 1, 2, 3. Where should I start if I was drawing this? The yellow one, because x squared, because there's only one of them, right? All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. X squared, done. Now where should I go? I would go to the 7, right? Because that's that bottom corner. Then if there's any canceling in the middle, like we had with q squared minus 3q minus 10, then filling up that middle is easier. So my options for 7 in green, which I will draw the boxes in green, are what? How can I make a rectangle out of 7? I only have one choice, don't I? Why is there only one choice? Because 7's a prime number, and it's only got 2 factors, 1 and 7, right? So I can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Which way am I going to go in the interest of space? I'm going to go horizontally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes? Yes. All right. Now, are those 7 shaded or not? Why do you know they are not shaded? Harry. Because it's a positive 7. We cool, yeah? All right. Now, logically, you should be recognize this is empty space, isn't it? This is empty space, isn't it? Yes. The only thing we have left to fill that empty space is bars, right? Yes. And they should have been blue. Blue. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. What's wrong with this? They're positive. What would make them negative, Mantosh? Shading them in. Brr, 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 brr. What are the factors? Where do we find the factors once we make a rectangle? On the edges. How far is that? X. How far is that? X. How far is that? No. -1. Because it's shaded. And there are 7 of them, yes? So -7. What about this one? -1. Now, of course, negative times a negative gets me a positive. So what are the factors of this? The factors live on the edge. X minus 7 and X minus 1. Everybody cool? Now, do you ever need to say, Mr. Miles, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Once you get to here? No, of course not, because you know if you're doing it right because you check. X times X is X squared. x times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 7 times x is negative 7. Negative 1 and negative 7 is negative 8. And negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Do you ever need to ask? No. It takes 2 seconds to check if you did it right. If it doesn't multiply back to what you started with, have you done it right? No. So you need to go back and check what you did. Everybody cool? That is the last time I am going to do this. I think I make you do it once or twice more. Now, let's talk about how to do it sensibly. What do I have there? Factors or a product? How do you know they're factors? Because I have one binomial multiplying by another binomial, yes? And anytime you have things multiplying, they are factors. Now, let's get this product. Now, I know that you know that I know there's a shortcut to this. I know that you know that I know that I taught you that shortcut. But we're not going to use that shortcut now for teaching purposes. Okay? I know it's purposes. It's a joke. Porpoises are dolphins, right? So for teaching purposes, because I'm teaching you, never mind. What is that answer? X squared. Well done. What is that answer? Plus 6x. What is that answer? And what is that answer? Plus 24. Now, if we do this the long way, like I showed you before I gave you the gift of the shortcut, you know that the final answer, and I'm going to use brown because that's all those colors mixed together, is x squared plus what? 10x. 10x plus 24, yes? All right, now, observe. This is now a product, yes? Yes. Factoring reverses this process. So let's look at that. This is a polynomial. I can break it down into factors. Now, please look carefully. What do you notice about, and I'll use purple, about 6, 4, and 10? They added. What do you notice, and I'll use dark blue, about 6, 4, and 24? They multiplied. It happened once right here, yes? Yes. Now, let's look back at what we just did. I started with this, yes? Yes. And my factors were x minus 1 and x minus 7, yes? Yes. What do you notice about negative 7 and negative 1 and negative 7? They add to that. What do you notice about negative 7 and negative 1? They multiply to that. Okay? So now you have a new gift that will help you with this situation. This much white space, what does that mean? We're going to do some work. Let's do the ones that we did with the tiles earlier. We did x squared plus 5x plus 6, yes? Okay. Now, knowing what you know now, you are aware that this is going to break down to x, and then two other numbers, right? Those two numbers must do two things. What must they do? They must add to something and multiply to something. What must they multiply to? 6. What must they add to, Meher? 5. So now, all we got to do is, remember that first day we talked about factoring? We're not prime factor anymore. We're looking for pairs now, yes? So 6 is 1 and 6. Will 1 and 6 make 5 in any way? No. Yes, it will. 6 minus 1. But I have two additions here. Do I have any room for negatives? No, screw them. So 2 and 3. Will that make 5 in any way? Yes. How? Positive 2, positive 3. Plus 2, plus 3, and I'm done. Everybody cool? Most of you should have seen this before, but I can't guarantee it because I didn't teach you in grade 9. Let's do the next one that we did. We did q squared minus 3q minus 10. Yes? Now, first of all, does it matter that it's q? No. What if I had drawn fish squared minus 3 fish minus 10? Would it matter? No. What if I drew lightning bolt squared minus 3 lightning bolts minus 10? No, it wouldn't matter. The symbol we use for variables does not matter. So don't ever give me that line of garbage, right? Okay, so knowing what you know now, what must I multiply to? Negative 10. What must I add to? Negative 3. Is it 1 and 10? No. Is it 2 and 5?
Yes.
How?
Negative 2 and times 5.
No.
Well, negative 5. No,
Negative 5. 2 minus 5 gets me negative 3. So my answer is q plus 2 and q minus 5. Now, I'm going to write two more things here. I want you to put a tick or an X by them if they're still right. Everybody understand? You don't need to write this down. I just want you to think about it. Okay? Everybody good? All right, I'm going to write two more things in red. All you have to do is tell me, not out loud, in your head, is number 1 right or wrong, and is number 2 right or wrong? Everybody ready? Don't yell it out, just look. Is number 1 right or wrong? Is number 2 right or wrong? Everybody have their answers?
Yep.
Think about it. Everybody's good? Nobody is yelling it out? Good. All right. Who would like to volunteer their answer? Avnor. Is number 1 right or wrong? Right. And is number 2 right or wrong? Wrong. Does everybody have that? Good, because that's correct. This is okay because you can see I have the exact same factors. Because multiplication, and I will not make you write down this word, multiplication is what we call commutative. What that means is 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5. Okay? So is addition. Addition is commutative. But our subtraction and division? No. Everybody cool? Yeah. All right, turn the page over. Let's see if we can put this into action. You should be good to do A, B, C, D, and E really easily, right? Let's do the first one together, and then I'm going to let you do B, C, D, and E. What do I need to multiply to in the first one?
7. 18.
Negative 18. What do I need to add to? 7. Is it 1 and 18?
No.
Is it 2 and 9?
Yes.
How will 2 and 9 make 7 and negative 18? 9 minus 2, right? So our answer is x minus 2, x plus 9. Right? Could I say x plus 9, x minus 2? Yes. When I show you a key, you may have it in a different order than me. Are you still right? What if you have the reverse signs? Are you still right? No. How would I have to mark that? I would have to give it 0, wouldn't I? Because it's one step, right? Everybody understands that, yeah? Okay, what about B? What do I got to multiply to?
8
Minus 8. What do I got to add to?
minus 2.
Minus 2. Is it 1 and 8?
No.
Is it 2 and 4?
Yes.
How? 2 minus 4, right? So it is x plus 2, x minus 4, right? Okay, you do C. Go. Who thinks they have it? What's different about C? They're both negative. X minus 5, x minus 7, right? We all good? Okay. Something weird's going to happen in D. First of all, what's weird? It's got an A. Does that matter? Is that actually weird? No, of course not. That's just, this one is a tall person and this one is a short person. They're still people, so we know what to deal with. So, what do I need to multiply to? Negative 20. What do I need to add to? 12. Is it 1 and 20? Is it 2 and 10? You think it's 2 and 10, but it isn't, is it? Why? Because I got to multiply to a negative number, so something's got to be negative, right? 2 minus 10, is that 12? 10 minus 2, is that 12? 10 plus 2, that's 12, but what's 10 times 2? Positive 20. What do I need? Negative 20. Now listen to me carefully. Does this look and feel like it should factor? Yes. Does it? No. Does not factor. Remember yesterday? If it doesn't factor, it doesn't factor. You cannot force it. Okay? Everybody understand? It is just as important to know when you are done as it is to know how to get to being done. Does everybody get that? That is what happens when you memorize steps. You're like, nah, gotta do it, and then you write something that is wrong. None of you are going to do that, right? Okay. E is back to being nice and easy. What's E? Y minus 7, y plus 2. Yeah? Okay, what's different about F? It's got a leading coefficient, yes? We only know what to do if there's no number there, right? But yesterday, Mr. Myers went ape poo, and wrote that, right? Let's have a look at this. What do you see there, and there? Coefficients that share a factor. What is it? 4. So we divide out the 4. Can I forget about that 4? No, I got to leave it there. But now I have x squared minus what? 5x minus what? 14. Now look what I have done for you to make this step easy. Aren't they exactly the same? So now this is what I was saying. You have to know when you're done. I did some factoring. Am I done? No, because I can go further. And further, we've already got the answer right there. We know, even though it's an x, we know it is x minus 7, x plus 2. Everybody Gouda? Great. Do number G. Oh, I just elementary schooled myself. Do G. Go. Talk to your neighbor if you need to. What bothers you, and how can you get rid of what bothers you? And everybody should have an answer now, yes? And it is? Avnor. Absolutely right. Yeah. Now, H is another one of those ones that causes trouble, not in the math, because the math is easy, but it causes us trouble in that argument about what is the greatest common factor. Right? In reality, what is the greatest common factor in H? No, the greatest common factor. Positive 4, yes? And you all know that you would take out a positive 4 and you would get negative t squared minus 4t plus 32, right? Everyone agrees, yeah? And in the real world, in the actual world of definitions, greatest means biggest, right? And technically, no matter how your teacher wants to mark this, technically this is correct, isn't it? But we're factoring, aren't we? And what do you see right there? A negative, which is really negative 1, isn't it? And we only know how to factor when there's nothing in front, right? So in this case, regardless, we have to bring out a negative. Okay? I know yesterday I said I don't care if you do or not. But in this case, we have to. Does everybody understand? So what's coming out of there really? Negative 4. So I got negative 4 out front. Now, what is going to happen to this negative and this negative? They're going to cancel, and I'm going to get t squared. What's going to happen here? To get positive 4t, and what's going to happen here? Minus 32. Now, I need to multiply to negative 32 and add to 4. What is it? Remember I told you knowing your times tables would make this real easy? What is it, Armand? What kind of 8 and 4? Pardon me, Meher? 8 minus 4, right? Not 4 minus 8. 4 minus 8 gets me to 32, but it doesn't get me 4, does it? So it's negative 4t plus 8 and t minus 4. Everybody cool? Yeah? Ease, bees, lemon squeezy, right? Okay. What is weird about I? It's flipped, right? Okay, so we're in a bit of trouble now, yeah? So what is something we could do? Could we try what we already know? Now, normally this negative 24 would be out here, right? So I would need to multiply to this number out here, right? So let's see what happens if I multiply to negative 24. Then what would I need to add to? Negative 5. Okay, what would it be? It'd be 3 and 8, right? Which would get the negative, Armand? 8. 3 minus 8, right? Okay. Now, since we've reversed the order, we should probably keep that order reversed, yes? So it's going to be, all right, 3 and then negative 8. Okay. And then, now, the other one, I just put the letter there, right? So what letter is going here? That's negative, so it must be a plus D and a minus D. Do we agree? No. Well, it would have to be. If this were going to work, it would have to be, right? Yeah. Because positive D times negative D gets me negative D squared, right? So it looks like we're done, yes? What? Yes. I'm getting to that. You don't give me away. What would we do now? Because if we have memorized steps, right? If we've only memorized steps, this is where we'd all be sitting right now, correct? So let's check. Is 3 times negative 8 negative 24? Excellent, negative 24. What's 3 times negative D? Negative D. What is D times negative 8? Or sorry, negative 3D. What is D times negative 8? Negative 8D. Hey, 3 minus 8. Oh, it already doesn't work, yes? It doesn't work, yeah? So you say to yourself, okay, self, I see where it's not working. I need this 3 negative D. This would have to be positive, so I got 3D minus 8D, right? Okay, but then I do that, okay, positive 3D minus 8D, and then what's this? Positive D squared. Damn, son. It doesn't work. So, RJ, now, factor out a negative 1. 24 plus 5D plus D squared, yeah? Yes. Now, okay, multiply to 24. You're not fooling me, Myers. And add to what? 5. What is it?
Positive 8
They're both positive. How can I have an... Can you do it? No. So, this is one of those situations. Some of you will say that doesn't factor. But in actuality, it does. We took out the negative 1. Because, again, when factoring, we have to be cognizant of those negatives. Is everybody cool? This is done. This is not. Everybody with me?
Yes.
All right. Whew. Guys, stop it. You're making me so like...
So is that it?
All right. J has different letters. Not one of you is going to say you can't do it, are you?
No.
Because if those letters weren't there, you could do this in your sleep, right? What is it? Ah, we're out of time. You have no homework because you have a test tomorrow. Yes. Oh, you guys are all going to get A's. I don't know why you're stressed about it. What are you talking about? It's exponents and radicals. Darn. And with no homework today and a test Friday, what does that mean for the weekend?
No homework.
Who loves you? I do. Who has 2 thumbs and loves his students? This guy. See you later. Yo.
I got 57 out of 62 on this.
You're going to write it on your... Oh, you're not going to be here tomorrow.
No, I'm just saying. I'm going to be here.
Well, then write it on your test where you write your name.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Myers. So,
Mr. Burke? No. Yeah, that's part of it.
what's your birth?
Crystal.
Yeah, you got a double barrel. Yeah, what is it?
So is somebody doing a quiz in your class during lunch?
Not of which I'm aware.
Okay. Well, could I do a quiz during
Uh-huh.
lunch just for fun?
Yes.
Okay.
A quiz that you missed?
No, not a quiz that I missed. Just so I can get practice.
So you want me to make you a quiz?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right. On what?
On whatever.
Radicals and exponents? All right.